because I'm freelancing, I'm doing YouTube, sometimes it gets so frustrating because you're like, am I gonna go broke? Am I just gonna find myself in the streets? Will I lack food? Will I lack all these things? Curtains are so expensive. I don't know why. I don't know why curtains are expensive. What's up guys, welcome to another episode of the vlog. My name is Ondero Ganga and it's another Wednesday, and that means that we get to catch up with each other. I am at Jamestown Coffee House. I've changed the venue that we always shoot a little bit, just for the bazaars. I want to come on here today and talk about my experience in Ghana. So those who knew me back in Nairobi knew that I was living at home with my parents, and hey, life is smooth when you're living with your parents. I'm telling you, everybody was just like, don't rush moving out of home. If you don't have to move out of home, please don't move out of home. And I thought it's like a joke, like how serious can it get, until I moved out of home. And I just didn't move out of home, I moved out of home in another country. Guys, I've seen flames. I have seen flames that I have never seen my whole fucking life. Things you didn't know about moving out of home. One, I think staying at home gives you some sort of, it's a security blanket. Like whatever happens to you, you have a place to go to. And let's just break them down. For example, rent. When you're staying at home, you're not necessarily the one who's taking care of the bills, right? Like rent, maybe your parents are taking care of it. For example, in my case, my dad was the one who was taking care of rent, so I never had to pay rent until I came to Ghana, and I had to pay 2 years up front. 2 years, you guys, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Like, it left a serious dent in my finances, because just to even pay rent for a month is not easy. Now imagine paying rent for 2 years up front. It's not a joke, guys. And like when COVID hit and things were changing, particularly in the Kenyan job market, and people taking pay cuts and pays were delaying, like the worry of many people was, how am I going to make rent? Guys, when you're living alone, you have to pay rent, and rent is not cheap. It will frustrate you, it will eat into your finances, it will leave you broke. Number two, food. Living at home means there's always food, because probably like your parents do the whole budgeting and stuff. Mugai, food is expensive. Mjolo, food is expensive. I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, it's not funny, and you have to feed yourself the whole month. It's the most expensive thing that you'll ever do. And then to make matters worse, I'm in Accra, which is not necessarily a very affordable city, so you can imagine the pain that I go through. And the other thing I think about staying at home is that mostly what you're eating will be decided by the family. Like in my case, I'd leave work and already there was food, so I never had to make the decision of what are we having for dinner, what are we gonna eat. And then I came to Accra, and then I am on my own, and I have to decide what I'm eating for dinner, for breakfast, for lunch. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. You remember, like, there's this joke that says sometimes men marry for the wrong reason. Like, you just want someone to take care of the home. Men is me. I am men. If I could marry, I'd have married, because deciding what to eat every day is not a joke. Honestly, it's not. And I don't even cook. Like, I buy food from outside, but even still, deciding what you're gonna eat is so hectic. Also, I think food ties in with shopping. You guys, tissue is expensive and toothpaste is expensive. You know, like in Nairobi, like my dad would buy all those things. Now I have to buy them for myself. You guys, it's not there was a day I was using tissue and I was like, so tissue is this expensive? And I had to call myself for a small meeting and tell myself, Ondero, you can't be using tissue like this. Like, you have to use tissue sparingly. Like, who the hell do you think you are? You're not Queen Elizabeth. Start using tissue in a reasonable manner. And by the way, I'm using tissue in a very reasonable manner right now, because tissue is not cheap. The other thing is toothpaste. Like, when I was living at home, like after every meal I'd go and brush my teeth. Now I am the one who's buying that toothpaste. I am not trying those games. I'm not playing those games. I'm not trying that game on my toothpaste. I bought mint chewing gum. After I eat, I brush my teeth in the morning and in the evening. During the day, I work from home. So once I eat, I always feel the need to brush my teeth, but toothpaste is expensive. So I'll chew mint and then I'll brush my teeth in the evening because who's buying toothpaste every month? Because honestly, it's not me. And I think the other thing about like living out is the aspect that you have to take care of yourself. Like just the thought that you're officially on your own, particularly in my case, because I don't live in Kenya, I don't live at home, so there's technically literally nobody to take care of me. Like I think when you're in your home country, even if you move out, you can always go back home. Like when shit hits the fan, you can always go have dinner at home. You can always like move back. I don't have that choice, you know. And because I'm freelancing, I'm doing YouTube, sometimes it gets so frustrating because you're like, am I gonna go broke? Am I just gonna find myself in the streets? Will I lack food? Will I lack all these things? Because building a business is not necessarily the easiest thing that you can ever do. So it's been a real shocker. Like it's been a real shocker. The other thing is you'll feel so lonely. I'm not even playing. Like it's the loneliest you'll ever feel because you're going back to an empty home. I've lived at home all my life. Like I remember in uni, I hated it. I hated being alone. When we were graduating uni, everybody was like, hey, I can't wait to move out. I was like, I can't wait to go back home because in all honesty, I think I didn't like the experience. And when I was in uni, I lived alone for most of the time. So and I was always homesick, by the way. Even here in Accra, I get sick from nothing. And I go to the hospital and the doctors are just like, you go home, chill, shower, drink something that you like, eat KFC chicken because I like it, and you'll be okay. And even in uni, I was always sick. I used to go home nearly almost like twice in a month, and I'm very glad and lucky that I used to stay close to my mommy, so it wasn't that far. But when I came to Accra, sometimes you just miss your family so much. I remember there was a time I just crumbled. Like I think my sister sent me a text telling me how much she'd missed me, and I just crumbled. Like I couldn't take it. And it's just, you miss your family so much, so much, and you just can't, like, unless you're like super rich, you just can't book a ticket anytime you want and go home. You have to stay and like keep working and make some money, and it's not the easiest thing. It's not. I remember there was this one time where like I was talking to my mommy, and she was just like, sometimes I feel so sad that you're away and like there's nothing that we can do about it. And like my heart really crushed, because when I was leaving, I didn't think about that. Mostly I just thought, hey, I want to go start a new life, leave, try new things and stuff like that. And then I realized the kind of impact that my relocation had on my family. It's going to be hectic. And then the other thing I think about living alone is you have to furnish a house. Guys, curtains cost 13,000 Ghanaian cedis, or maybe 1 billion in Nairobi. Curtains are so expensive. I don't know why curtains are expensive. And then on top of buying curtains, you have to buy sheer. Like, who invented these things? Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me, because okay, it makes sense, like aesthetics and stuff, but wait, you people who moved out of home earlier, why haven't you been protesting about the cost of curtains? Because this Jamani, how are curtains that costly in this modern day and age? It doesn't make sense to me. It's just, guys, so expensive, man. It's so expensive. If you want to move out of home, start saving for curtains now. Let's not even talk about dishes. Okay, I have 4 cups and 4 plates. I haven't started cooking, but I have 4 cups and 4 plates. Whoever wants to come and eat at my house past 4, you'll carry your plate and your cup. Please, I am not running an NGO or a feeding organization. If you want to come eat at my house, bring your cutlery, because that stuff get expensive. I don't know what your experience was moving out of home. I don't know how you planned for it. Mostly, like for me, it only took 3 months to plan the whole thing, which wasn't enough time. Like people take a long time to plan moving out of home, and I think the relocation consumed a lot of my time that I wasn't able to think about the moving out part. Hey, it has drained my money. Guy, wait, hey, this is the face of poverty. This is how poverty looks like. Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially broke. BROQUE, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it. Like, I'm not complaining. So, yeah, I mean, like, tell me what your experience was moving out of home for the first time. This was my experience and actually moving out of home in a foreign country. If you've done that, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.